Hey, welcome back. So I guess today I should try to talk a little bit more about the date. I know I already talked about it in the vlog, but the thing is, like, the more stuff that I've been doing, actually the less notes I've been writing down, because I've been doing stuff and I don't have time to write notes to talk about, which is good. I mean, so it's kind of naturally getting to the point that I wanted before, where like I'm just talking and it's not based on the notes. Like, I'll just have a note like, okay, you went on a date, talk about that, and it won't be like about specific stuff. And then so that's a more natural conversation, that's conversational tone to like what I'm doing here. That's kind of what I want, and less of just doing like a book report on my week or something, or like on like War and Peace, like an actual book report. That can be fun once in a while, but this is more for just like practice talking and being in conversation and just having the words. Like, you don't have I've said this a million times, but in order to have the words in a conversation, you have to say the words out loud. You can't just think them. That's what I used to do. I used to just think all the time, and then when someone would talk to me, the words wouldn't come because I had never said them. But now I'm getting a little bit better at that because the words are here. I'm saying them, and then it's easier to say the same thing again later once you've said them. Does that make sense? I think I'm going the right way. I have no idea. I gotta go up. I think I gotta keep going up. How do I get up? Up here? Oh. Yeah, I do remember this game being kind of confusing, getting lost, but whatever. I haven't gotten too lost yet, but we might be lost right now. I've seen this thing before. Should I jump down there? Hey, what's he doing? Hey! Should I go down there? What's down there? Oh! Why are there guys down here? Where the heck am I? So yeah, I'll probably just rehash what I did in the vlog today, but whatever. So I went on this date with somebody, and it was, like, I think it's important to talk about it again because I don't want to gloss over how momentous, I don't want to say momentous, just like how big of a deal it was, even though it didn't feel like a big deal. But that's why it was a big deal, because it didn't feel like a big deal. Because things like that in the past would have been huge, and now it just felt like normal, and that part of that makes me feel kind of sad, because you're like, oh, you want it to feel like this amazing thing, and it just felt normal. But that's kind of what you wanted before, wasn't it? Just to be normal. And now you got it. I'm normal now. Oh, look at me. Yeah, a normal person does a Let's Play where he talks about social anxiety. Totally normal thing to be doing. Hey, boosh. Oh, it's windy out there. Get your wind coats on, everybody. Hey, oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Knew that was gonna happen. Oh, bye. I had the most connection I've ever had with a person, which of course isn't saying that much, but the fact that we talked, like, we sat next to this lake, or this river, had like a little waterfall, and there was nobody else there, so I could And I had already met her before, and we texted, and so I felt comfortable, like, talking. Don't kill me, please, sir. We talked about... I liked... She kind of was... She had the idea, like, oh, like, it's kind of hard to talk in this taco place about, like, deeper stuff. So let's go sit somewhere where nobody else is. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like... It didn't make me nervous, which was good. I was like, oh yeah, I want the opportunity, and it is hard to talk in the taco place about, like, religion and stuff. I don't really want to do that. But I do want to talk to her about it, because I kind of want to... I want to talk it through. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, I met her once, and I don't know, so let's not meet again. Like, I want to practice talking to somebody and being like, what does religion actually mean to me? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Like, is it important to you? What do you think about Jesus? Ugh. There we go. So that's what we did. And it was, I don't know. It was good that I was able to do that, and obviously it didn't go perfectly well. But, like, my standards, like, I've always said to the therapist, like, my standards aren't that high for, like, a good conversation. It's just me being able to put together a couple sentences. That's it. And so it's always frustrating when the therapist is like, no, like, you're good at talking. And I'm like, no, I can't put together 2 sentences. That's bad. I don't want to accept that that's okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's happening? There's a guy here. Ah. So that's why I felt like, okay, the conversation that I had was good, even though it wasn't perfect. Like, I didn't say everything I could have said or that I wanted to say, and I didn't, like, respond to her, because she kind of opened up to me and said personal stuff, and sometimes I wasn't always, like, super engaging with her about, like, oh, I don't know, I didn't say the perfect thing. But I was fine with that because, like, it was, like, it met my standard of a good conversation, of a connection. That's all I wanted my entire life. And so that's why when I left that date, like, I felt kind of sad because we weren't going to meet again. And, like, I knew that that was a good thing, but, like, I just want to meet somebody who I can do that with all the time, I guess. And we still didn't fully, like, I still didn't feel myself fully opening up and connecting, but just the fact that I could feel, like, a little crack of it was enough to be like, I've never felt that before. That little crack opening and, like, I don't know, like a little bit of a sunshine coming through or something. I don't know. Yeah, my note for this is the only note I wrote down for the date. It's just like, we sat by a waterfall, sad face. We talked about religion, and what did I say about religion? I won't say anything that she said, but you know that, like, I don't care. I'll say whatever I said. Well, she asked me, like, one of the first questions she asked when we were alone, because I told her, like, oh, I'm kind of religious, and I knew she wasn't really. And obviously that could be a big thing. She's like, so what do you mean exactly by religious? Like, you told me you were religious. What did you mean by that? I was like, good. Let's get into it. This is what I wanted. And I said, well, first of all, like, I'm a Christian, and I'm always gonna be a Christian. I go to church every Sunday, and I went to a Bible. I'm starting to go to a Bible study. But also, I feel like well, first of all, like, I'm always trying to grow and learn, like, what my spirituality even means, what part of my life that should take up. And I don't feel like a normal Christian. Like, I sometimes I'm afraid to tell people I'm a Christian because, like, I know there's connotations with that, like, oh, you hate gay people. I'm not that kind of a Christian. So I told her all that, and I babbled, but it was good. I think that was probably the reason that kind of put her over the edge, because, I mean, I do want to go to church, and I do want to still have a connection to religion, because it is so important to my family, and I don't want to rebel against that. Even though, who knows if God exists? I don't know. If my parents were atheists, I'd be an atheist. I know that for sure. Hey. Well, maybe not. I don't know. If my parents were Muslim, I would be Muslim for sure. I wouldn't go against something that, like, as long as my parents loved me, then I wouldn't want to make them sad by going against, like, their faith. I have no reason to, and, like, going to church is a good thing. You do it every Sunday, you get up, and it's, like, a good routine to be in. Makes me feel kind of productive, like I'm doing a good thing. So I'm always gonna do that. I'm never gonna believe less than I do right now, which sounds bad, but it's like, I'm still a Christian now, so I'm never not gonna be a Christian, because I can never believe less than I do right now. I can never lose my faith. Like, I don't really have faith. I believe people have. I should actually try to talk more about this genetically modified skeptic person, because I've been watching his videos and I like him. I like the way he communicates. It's much better than Hasanabi. Like, Hasanabi's thing is be mean to people and humiliate them so that you get more people on your side and you can sway people politically to your side. And the genetically modified skeptic is totally the opposite. And he's more like what I would do if I was in that position, which is like try to actually have human conversations and not just stupid debates where you're like trying to score points. He had a really nice conversation with this Christian apologist named Sean something, and they just talked about his life and like, oh, this is why I used to be a Christian, but then I kind of left the church, and Sean was just like, oh, that's like an interesting story, I want to hear about it, and like, I'm not going to try to convert you. I just want to hear your story and listen to you and talk about, like, obviously we have differences in theology, but I still want to love you as a neighbor, as my neighbor. Why did I get off on that tangent? Don't go chasing waterfall. Yeah, I used to think that the Chasing Waterfall song was about, like, don't go chasing, like, someone who's too big for you, like to date. Like, oh, so this person's like too crazy. They're too, like, stay in your lane. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. But it's actually about selling drugs. I mean, that's what I think so. Ooh, ah. And it's like Chasing Waterfalls is like, don't sell drugs, stick to the rivers and the lakes, which is like be a mechanic or something. I don't know. Don't be a drug dealer, be a mechanic. Listen to me. Okay, that's it for today, I think. Yeah. What did I want to talk about tomorrow? Oh, the GM skeptic guy. Maybe. Yeah, okay. See you tomorrow.